Lucasfilm is truly the gift that keeps on giving. It's absolutely hilarious, but they don't keep giving in a positive way. No, they continue to give in a negative way. They continue to show that they truly hate the Star Wars fan base. They prove it over and over again. They really don't like Star Wars fans. It is so funny to watch them prove people like me right over and over again. Whether it's Ryan Johnson or Pablo Hidalgo or any of the social media people involved with Star Wars, whether it's the people that write for StarWars.com that are writing lies about me, and then I have to prove their lies wrong with something they're very scared of, which is facts, which has happened a few times now. Whether it's those weirdos or it's the new weirdo that shows up, that's someone that was doing it just a few years ago, but once he reprises his role, suddenly now he's trashing the Star Wars fans again. Who are we talking about? None other than the definition of a washed-up actor, Freddie Prinze Jr. Now, I have never had a problem with Freddie Prinze Jr. until I had interactions with him on social media, and he truly is a very insecure dude. He's incredibly insecure. It's jarring how insecure he really is. With the way he talks and the way he talks to people on shows, and he projects so big time, and you could just tell he has a serious problem with his confidence, and he projects incredibly hard. I mean, it's big time. And you just see it through his actions and how he tries to talk himself up on social media. It's absolutely hilarious to watch it play out. But now we're at a point where he's truly just, it's embarrassing to a point where I'm even going to cover it, because I wasn't even going to cover this on the channel, because I'm like, I don't even care about Freddie Prinze. It's not like anybody's going to watch this video anyway, because it's Freddie Prinze Jr. Who cares about Freddie Prinze Jr.? He's not even worth my time. But yet, he continues to make this situation so incredibly laughable that we're going to have to highlight it. Now, Ryan Kill over at RK Outpost has done a fantastic job of covering this, and several other of my fellow YouTubers. But we're getting to a point where Freddie Prinze Jr. is just truly embarrassing himself. So we're going to go over to Abounding in the Comics, and it says, Star Wars The Bad Batch voice actor Freddie Prinze Jr. appears to admit to participating in online cancel culture mob against Gina Carano. Star Wars The Bad Batch actor Freddie Prinze Jr. appeared to admit to participating in online cancel culture following Disney and Lucasfilm's firing of Gina Carano back in February. And it says, if you recall, a Disney and Lucasfilm spokesperson fired Carano through a 2-sentence statement. That statement began, Gina Carano is not currently employed by Lucasfilm and there are no plans for her to be in the future. The spokesman then added, nevertheless, her social media posts denigrating people based on their cultural and religious identities are abhorrent and unacceptable. This is a flat-out lie, and this is why very few people have any respect for Lucasfilm. Most people with a working brain and the slightest bit of common sense don't have any respect for Lucasfilm. This is a lie. This is an attempt to discredit her right here. Just a terrible company. The social media, let's see, the social media post in question was an Instagram stories post that appeared to be a repost from Warrior Priest Jim podcast. And we all know about that. So we know the whole story, the backstory with this. And following this statement from Disney and Lucasfilm's spokesperson, Freddie Prinze Jr. shared a GIF of his Twitter from Jen and the Holograms where one of the characters slaps the other with the text reading, "Girl, bye." And that is it right there. Now Prince appears to have admitted this GIF was him engaging with a cancel culture mob on Twitter. He seemingly admitted this came after he received criticism for his voice acting of a young Caleb Doom in the first episode of The Bad Batch. He responded to his criticism writing, "Because I'm damn good, now you know." God, he's such a. It's like there's people that obviously just talk noise to talk noise, and they're good at it. Freddie Prinze just seems so incredibly insecure. Like, so incredibly insecure the way he talks to people. It is so funny to watch this dude try so hard to project. In the response, another Twitter user, Freddie Prinze Jr. would write, "Twitter is a place where people come to hate and hero worship. I don't care about either side of it." And And then our boy Az over at Heel versus Babyface says, but you do, you hypocrite. You were all too happy to jump on the Gina Carano hate bandwagon. Piss off back to your Hollywood or Hollywoke, you utter fake. And then he said, Prince then appeared to affirm his gift was part of a cancel culture mob targeting Gina Carano. And it says, bro, it was a gem and the hologram gift. That shit was funny. Grow up. And then Hill versus Babyface responded, I'm beginning to see why you're as irrelevant as shit if you think dogpiling the cancellation of a human being funny, bro. Prince has not replied as of writing. He has done some more replying, though. Like right here, a Black Jedi made a video. Freddie Prinze Jr., a YouTube story about me? You shouldn't have. It's funny how when your energy is matched, you guys are suddenly sweet victims, making a video hopefully long enough to get monetized. Oops, didn't mean to pull your card like that. Give me a break, kid. And Ryan's already shown how Freddie Prinze has been really kind of trying to call out this YouTube monetization, and then Ryan showed that Freddie Prinze Jr.'s channel is monetized. It's a failing channel, but it's monetized. And the dude is just pathetic. But he's just another Lucasfilm employee because this is who they are. This is what they're about. These people are really, really insecure, and they seriously hate Star Wars fans. That's essentially what it comes down to. And I don't really understand how they can continue to get away with this nonsense. They fire Gina Carano. And then publicly shame her because she didn't have the right political opinions. Yet they have employees like Freddie Prinze Jr. and all of these other social media employees and all of these executives that say all of these horrible things, and no one holds them accountable. Now, I'm of the mindset that if you're going to allow that, then allow it. You shouldn't be picking and choosing. Like, oh, these people with this political opinion, they can say whatever they want. They can trash fans. But this person with that political opinion, they can't say it. Either you're going to allow all of it or you shouldn't allow any of it. I'm of the mindset that you allow all of it. But the problem is we know Lucasfilm doesn't operate like that. We know that they can't allow people within their company with the nonsensical SJW culture that they've created, that you know that they can't have anybody at Lucasfilm that can publicly support conservative opinions or Donald Trump or MAGA or anything like that. They're not allowed to. They would not allow that to happen. And we know that. I have said this for years. I have called Lucasfilm out for years for this behavior. And this is why Hollywood is such a trash place, because they are not interested in conversation. They're not interested in dialogue. They're not interested in anything other than casting people out that have a different political opinion than them. And Freddie Prinze Jr. is just another beta male that represents Lucasfilm. He is not allowed to have his own opinions. So he talks himself up to seem like he's this cool bro guy. You listen to him how he talks. I mean, he absolutely goes overboard. Trust me, I've done this plenty of times. The difference is I can admit that I do it. There's an entertainment value to it. Freddie Prinze Jr. doesn't know when to stop. He is talking himself up so much. Bro. Like, come on, dude. Seriously, like, it's to the point where it's so bad, you have no self-awareness whatsoever. Self-awareness is a very important thing to have when you're doing that stuff. I can't tell you how many people have gotten upset with me and the way I talk on social media, and it's meant to upset them. With Freddie Prinze Jr., he is downright just got a complex about the fact that his career isn't what it was. He's truly a has-been. He doesn't have a lot of credibility. He's extremely irrelevant. And, you know, I know a lot of people, I don't like to bring people's, like, family into it. I know his wife is a public figure, and so obviously she's more successful than him. I don't really think that's a bad thing, but when he acts like this, it's so cringe. It's so incredibly cringe. And we've had this back and forth. Like, I've had this back and forth with this guy a couple years ago. He responded to a tweet where somebody was trying to bring me into it, and then he ran his mouth, and he had all this stuff. He's got a real problem with YouTubers being monetized, even though he has a monetized YouTube channel. And yet he has a problem with other YouTubers that are monetized, seemingly because they probably have a bigger following than him, and they're far more relevant than he is. And I think that really does burn him up, that you're a guy who, what was it, back in the 90s, I think? When was Freddie Prinze Jr. relevant? I think it was like the 90s. She's All That, and, you know, the Scooby-Doo movies, and he had some other things. And again, what was the base? There was a baseball movie. I liked Freddie Prinze Jr.'s movies. He had the hacky sack scene. The hacky sack scene. That's one of the greatest moments in the history of cinema. That is me being completely sarcastic. But the point is, this dude is very bitter that he's so irrelevant. So that's why he continues to take shots at YouTubers that have monetized channels. It's absolutely hilarious, but it is what it is. Lucasfilm is a bad company operated by bad people. I've said this over and over again. If you have a political opinion that they don't agree with, they will not allow you to speak for them or to them. That's why I am constantly saying that I'm a Donald Trump supporter. And I'm proud that I voted for Trump in 2016 and in 2020. And if and when he runs in 2024, I will do it again. Because I know that they can never talk to me. I know people at Lucasfilm that before I was public with my voting of Donald Trump in 2016, they brought me to the property. They gave me a personal tour. And then I started criticizing The Last Jedi, and I was public about my support for Trump, and they acted like we never had a conversation. We never had any connection whatsoever. Unfriended me on Facebook, unfollowed me on Twitter, never spoke to me again. Why? Because Orange Man bad, Jeremy supports Trump. We can't have any connection to him, and I find it hilarious. You will not weaponize my political opinion, ever. I won't let it happen. These people are an embarrassment. They are pathetic, and they do not have the ability to think for themselves. All they can do is think how the powers that be allow them to think, and that is Freddie Prinze Jr. in a nutshell. So you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you very much for checking out this video, and we will talk to you later.